All right, shalom, shalom. This is brothers from the GMS Atlanta Church. First and foremost, giving all glory, honor, and praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the Blue Well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. All right, and today we're going to come with a lesson pertaining on the nuclear missiles. All right, and how they're going to be shot across the east side of the world to the west side, man. Over here to America, okay, spelled with 3 Ks. All right, so without further ado, we're going to start with Isaiah 34 and 1.
Come, this is Isaiah 34 and verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear and hearken.
That's right. He says, come near, ye nations, to hear and hearken. So Isaiah is writing, coming from the Lord, all right? He's speaking to all you heathen nations, okay? Actually, every nation on this planet, on the planet Earth, because it's even going to get into it. Who else is going to get the blunt end of the stick as well? And it's you 2/3 of Israel when we read verse 5. So go ahead.
Come, and all that is therein, the world and all the things that come forth of it.
That's right, because what? The Lord has a controversy with y'all. He got beef with y'all. All right? Yeah, I got a little something to say. You know, come here. You know, you have a kid. No, bring your little ass over here. I got to tell you something. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
Verse 2, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations.
That's right. The indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. You can even read about the indignation of the Lord without mixture in the book of Revelation, the 14th chapter. But that's pertaining to if you take the chip. But it's at the same time that these other nations are going to get the Lord's wrath without a chaser either. You know, when you take a shot of strong drink, I'm not going to be particular with the drink, but when you take a shot of strong drink and you don't have a chaser, that thing is like, might cough a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, take a shot of, forget it, take a shot of 190 proof. I dare you to. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel it. You're going to feel it if you don't have a chaser. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
Let me continue. It says, and his fury upon their armies.
And the fury upon all their armies. Okay? You can read about his fury upon all their armies where? In the book of 2nd Ezra 13th chapter, when Yahushua was home, that's like one of my favorite chapters. When Yahushua comes down and straight utterly decimates everybody who comes and stands before him, okay? Who's coming to fight. Because in the book of Revelation, it clearly tells you, and they gathered together to fight the Lamb, and they did not prevail. You got a precept, brother?
Oh, I was at 2nd Ezra if you wanted to bring it out.
Con, you can start at 1.
Come, this is 2nd Ezra 13 and 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, and that moved all the ways thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven.
You said that a man waxed strong?
That man, Salah, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned. So all they burned that heard his voice.
That's right. So he saw the big old chariot. Was going to get into it in 2nd Ezra 13. And Yahushua, whenever he uttered his mouth, everybody burned, meaning he was commanding, okay? And his chariot and probably the other chariots that was with him was shooting laser beams at him, you know? So go ahead.
Come. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice.
That's right.
Like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire.
That's right. Go ahead.
And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathering together a multitude of men out of number from the 4 winds of the heaven to subdue the men that came out of the sea.
That's right, because he said that he saw a mountain, but he couldn't see where it was engraved out of. So meaning it was a big old chariot. Okay. Right? So it says out of the sea. Because this is over here, this scripture is particularly talking about what's going to happen over there in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, while the missiles are coming over here to America, Yahweh Shai is going to be over there fucking that place up and cleansing that land. Okay, but it says all of them. What? Read that again.
Verse 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was a gathering multitude of men of number from the four winds of the heaven.
That's right. It said a gathering multitude of the four winds out of heaven, right? Meaning what? Isaiah 34:1. Come near, ye nations, and hear, and hearken. And guess what? Every time he uttered his mouth, they heard it. They listened and got burnt the hell up. Out of his commandment is what it's speaking. Okay? And out of that came the destruction. Okay, the laser beams getting shot, like the War of the Worlds, and they got turned to dust, which it says in the same book. So go ahead, brother.
I'm going to continue.
And if y'all want to expound, y'all can get in it.
To subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, and he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not.
So he was like, man, he would find a big old mountain, but it can't be a mountain because I would see where the mountain would have came out the ground. It would have been a big old valley there or something, but I couldn't see it. Meaning, he saw a big old chariot. You got to remember, Esdras, he was during the time of the Persians and the Medes. So he didn't know what was going, that vision, he didn't know that technology. He didn't, what is that? That's why when you read Revelation, the 9th chapter, John is speaking about World War I airplanes as being flying locusts and scorpions. He didn't know any other way to describe it but what he knew at that time. So go ahead.
Just like they say, some of the missiles were like arrows. A glittering sword. So go ahead, brother. Verse 8, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which gathered together to subdue him was sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And
meaning they're scared as hell, but the Lord, the Most High, still put the spirit on them to fight. Because what? Yahweh Shem Shai is a God of war. He likes war. He likes going to war. He likes the confrontation. He likes fighting. So give me a fight, man. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
And lo, as he saw the violence of this multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held his sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been blast of fire. So it had been a blast of fire. And came out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue, and cast out sparks and tempests.
That's right. So what's that? A laser beam. You know what I'm saying? So we can go back to Isaiah 34. You got a precept ready?
I had some real quick.
Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 15. It says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind." All right, and that's basically synonymous with what was being seen, prophesied by in Second Esdras. It says, "Like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire." Okay, and that's how the Lord is going to come back, man, and plead with all flesh, okay? And if I keep reading it'll expound. It says, "For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slaying of the Lord shall be many." All right? It says the slaying of the Lord shall be many. Like the brother was saying, you heathens, all right, of the other 17 nations, and also 2/3 of our people, okay, is going to be consumed by that fire. All right?
That's right.
And I'm going to continue back in Isaiah 34, starting at verse 2. "For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies."
So we read about the fury upon all their armies because they said they were yet yeah, that's right, but they got burnt up by those laser beams coming from Yahushua's chariot and the angels' chariots. So go ahead.
He hath utterly destroyed them.
Mm-hmm.
He hath delivered them to the slaughter.
That's right. He has delivered them to the slaughter. Go ahead.
Come. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
The mountains shall be melted with their blood. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 4, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
Get 2 Peter chapter 3, start at 9. Get Revelation chapter 6 and 14.
Come.
Because it said all the heavens would be rolled together like a scroll, right? And it said Isaiah 34 and 4 said, and all the hosts of heaven shall be, all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, right? It says the host. When you go into the word host, it's like an army. And when you say the Lord of hosts, it means the Lord of armies. So their F-15s and their fighter jets, they're going to be dissolved in the air. Okay, so read was that 2 Peter
3 and 9.
3 and 9, yeah.
This is 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering unto usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance.
Go to 2 Peter. Are you in 1 Peter? I mean, second?
Yeah.
Well, let me see something real quick. Where is it? Yeah, 2 Peter 3 and 7. Start at 7.
This is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 7. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reversed unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men.
That's right, and the destruction of ungodly men. Keep going.
But, beloved, be not ignorant.
So, but beloved, the house of David, be not ignorant. Go ahead.
Of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day.
That's right. Keep going.
The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance.
That's right. Keep going.
Verse 10, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night.
That's right. So these missiles gonna come out the blue, man. Go ahead.
It says, and it's like in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
That's right. The elements and the heavens shall pass away with great noise. So dissolved. Go ahead. It's gonna say that, I think.
The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up.
That's right. So everything in the heavens, all right, like the host of heavens are going to be dissolved. That fervent heat is going to melt everything.
Yeah.
When you look into the science of a nucleus or an atom, atoms can't be destroyed. But right here, it's telling us that atoms will be destroyed. That's how hot the fire and the heat is going to be. That electrons, protons, and neutrons are going to be demolished. Okay, because man are like we can split an atom, but we can't destroy it and dissolve it.
That's what I'm saying.
Only the Lord can.
Yeah, because according to man, atom is the smallest, or the base of everything, and that it can't be broken down, like the brother said. But hey, the Lord gonna get down and dirty, man. What is gonna take place, all right, is something these people can't even fathom. All right, you can't even put it into words how harsh and how much darkness is going to be. All right, when the Lord decides to let all hell break loose out here, man. via those missiles
That's right.
and his chariots. Okay, and in verse 9 it says the Lord is not slack concerning his promises, so it's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whether you people believe it or not, okay,
That's right.
it's gonna happen. Because what it is, the people get caught up in all this wickedness that's going on in society and don't think it's gonna come to an end. You think the Lord is just gonna keep letting y'all have y'all way out here and do all kind of bullshit, and wickedness, and there's gonna be no recompense or no judgment for that. Okay,
Consequences.
Yeah, because the scriptures also say just because roughly paraphrasing, judgment against an evil work is not sent down speedily. Okay, that men continue to do evil, man, and that's what we're seeing. But we're here to tell you, hey, the Lord got something for y'all, guys. All right?
That's right. When you go into the word fear, I did a lesson on it today. When you go into the word fear, it means ambush or to lie wait.
Oh wow, like the thief in the night description.
Like a thief in the night.
Yeah.
So they're lacking the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Therefore, they're going to get ambushed.
Exactly.
And the Lord is lying wait when they make that left, turn that they're making.
Right.
We making that right turn away from the ambush.
Exactly.
Because we have fear of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, the Lord got something for him. You can finish that off. In Peter, I think you're in like verse 10.
Yeah, I read 10. You want me to reread?
Read 11.
Read 11. All right, this is 2 Peter 3:11. Saying then that all these things shall be dissolved.
That's right.
What manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?
So how should you be conducting yourself, knowing that these things are going to be dissolved?
Right.
I'll go back to Isaiah 34 and 4 because the word dissolved was just used in Peter. So go ahead.
This is Isaiah 34 and 4. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved.
That's right, dissolved. So knowing that all this is going to be dissolved, all the elements are going to be dissolved over here in America, how should you be conducting yourself? But these nations, the nations are going to get literally dissolved. Like, dissolved. When something dissolves, it disappears.
Right.
I'm not trying to take part in that.
Exactly.
When you read 2 Ezra 13, it says they turned into dust, meaning dissolved because of those laser beams. So go ahead, brother.
Then it says, the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
A scroll. So go ahead and get Revelation 6 and 14.
This is Revelation 6 and verse 14.
This is how you know John and Isaiah, John and Daniel, John and Jeremiah were in the same spirit and got like this same revelation. So go ahead.
This is John 6 and verse 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together.
Yeah. So when that missile hits, you have seen a mushroom cloud? Boom. And it scrolls like a scroll. Because when you open a scroll, you open it. You have your little the flat part, right? And then the scroll part is a little, the round area where the paper is still rolled together. That's the best way they can explain it.
Exactly. So
when they saw this vision and they saw that glittering sword, what we know today as an ICBM missile coming, boom, they saw it explode. They saw the clouds come up and then roll together like a scroll. That's a mushroom cloud. Is what they're explaining.
Yeah, like if you put two scrolls together back to back and roll them, it kind of give you that image of the mushroom cloud.
And a great depiction of the closest thing that you're gonna get, to seeing how it works is gonna be. You ever seen that Terminator?
Yeah. Terminator 2.
Yeah.
I think
one was on the fence, and
that's
the
one
fire came and swept.
That's one of the signs.
Turned their ass into dust particles. Goddamn.
Dissolved
Still.
Like a bitch.
Yeah, we don't want to take part in that. We don't want to be we don't want to know.
And that was before the blast came.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was that destruction of that wind.
That wind.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Billy.
I'm gonna go back to Revelation 6 and 14. It says, and the heaven departed as a scroll
Mm-hmm.
when it is rolled together.
The heaven departed as a scroll when it's rolled together. So when it departs, if you ever seen the video of the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, when it blew up, there was clouds first.
Yeah.
They dropped the bomb, there was clouds, and then the clouds departed, and you saw that scroll. Okay, so go ahead.
Come. And every mountain and island were moved out of their places.
Yeah, because when the scriptures say pretty much when the missiles hit, the earth is going to shake to and fro like a drunkard.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so go ahead.
And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains.
Mm-hmm. They know trying to get into them bunkers.
Mm-hmm.
And even on top of that, what you can say, this is going to be broadcast. Everybody's going to see this. Everybody's going to see the downfall of America. Everybody's going to see the missiles hit. Like, oh, shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Why else would you have a Revelation 18 when it speaks about the merchants? Because they seen it happen. Like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like, this place is getting fucked up.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So go ahead. Is that it on
Yeah,
there?
that was like a little alarm. Like if everyone, free and bond, rich and poor, the higher ups everyone's gonna see it. It says that for a reason. They show what hide. Why are they hiding? Because they seen what's happening. We're gonna have to hide something.
Mm-hmm.
Get the kids and get up out of here. Let's go down here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it speaks about that too in Obadiah, digging to hell.
Yep.
Esau gonna try to escape, man. And once the destruction, they gonna the elites of Esau, okay, they gonna be in those bunkers, but hey, we gonna be there to round their ass up once all the destruction take place.
Jeremiah 16.
There ain't gonna be no escaping, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue in 16. It says, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb.
Get Sirach chapter 1. I want to say like verse 11. Reread that, brother.
Verse 16. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne.
The face of him that sitteth on the throne.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a scripture that's dealing with fear. So what does Sirach 1 and 11 say?
The fear of the Lord is honor.
Go to verse 8.
8.
What does that say?
There is one wise.
Yeah, read that one.
This is Sirach chapter 1 and verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
There is one wise and greatly to be feared.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord sitting upon his throne.
The one that's on the throne. So they were fearing the one that was on the throne, man. So go ahead.
Then if I continue, it says that from the wrath of the Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Then verse 17
it
says
says one that sitteth on the throne. So Yahweh and the wrath of the Lamb, which is Yahweh Shai. So go ahead.
For the great day of his wrath is come,
Mm-hmm.
and who shall be able to stand?
Get Joel chapter 2 verse 11. All right.
And no one's going to be able to stand.
That's a 12th question.
Uh-huh.
Because Joel chapter 2 is a good chapter speaking about the missiles as well. Because it talks about they will not break rank.
Mm-hmm.
They'll go up the wall and, they'll come. They're going to come get your ass.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? These missile defense systems,
Right.
you made those in vain, Esau. So go ahead. Because those missiles don't have the spirit of the Lord on them.
Yeah.
They're going to be dodging you like doing spin moves in the air like Barry Sanders, damn it.
Hey, none shall return in vain.
None shall return. And none shall, they ain't gonna blow up in the area.
Right.
None of that.
They're gonna hit their target.
Exactly. They're not going to collide. None of that.
Yeah.
It's going to
Yeah,
come with
bullshit.
perfect navigation from the Lord, man.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted that Joel 2 and 11?
Yeah. This is the ICBM missiles, man. But it's got them intercontinental Barry Sanders missiles doing spin moves on your ass, man. Ducking, dodging you stupid defense missile systems. Y'all ain't about to knock down any of them, man. Like I remember I said one time, the scriptures say 200 million missiles, roughly 320 million people in America. and there's millions in the elect. There's millions to be saved, according to Zechariah, the 13th chapter with the 1/3. And there's a lot of Israelites. So think about it. There's literally a missile for every fucking person here in America. So literally, you can say every missile has a nigga's name on it or a heathen's name. Literally. You know?
They're going to be like, damn. That Kendrick Lamar album cover, man.
Shit, that missile says Thomas Paine on it.
Right.
It's my fucking name.
Goddamn Tyrone Emery.
At Warner and shit.
LeBron. Fuck. You know? So go ahead. Oh, so like Joel 2:11. Yeah.
This is Joel chapter 2 and verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army.
There goes that commandment again. The uttering the voice in 2 Ezra 13. So go ahead.
For his count is very great.
Mm-hmm.
For he is strong that executeth his word.
Mm-hmm.
For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And who can abide in it?
Who can abide in it? Who's going to, like the scripture say in Revelation?
Who shall stand?
Who shall stand? Who can abide? Synonymous. Nobody. Like real talk, when you think about even the elect are not going to abide in it because we can beam done.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to abide in it. The Most High will not even allow us to even withstand it. He's like, no, just come here, come on up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna get hit, and y'all definitely ain't gonna be able to stand in that fire.
Okay.
No one can. Okay, so go ahead. That's it on that?
Yeah.
Is that it on Revelation?
Yeah, that was it. Who shall stand? Yeah.
We can jump back to Isaiah 34 and finish off verse 4.
This is Isaiah 34 and verse 4. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved. So all the fighters that you got, it says, go ahead.
And all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree.
That's right. So go ahead to verse 5.
For my sword shall be bathed in heaven.
Missiles in the air. So go ahead.
Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
America. All right, these Edomites. So go ahead.
And upon the people of my curse to judgment.
See? That's what he was speaking about in verse 1. Come ye in all nations, come and hear this, including you 2/3 niggas in Israel. Because it said what again? Read verse 5.
For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment.
The people of my curse. Who was the people of his curse? Who got cursed? We did. The Israelites. The Israelites got cursed. But it's going to come down upon Idumea too, according to Deuteronomy 30 and 7. So get Proverbs chapter 3, verse 33.
This is Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 33. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked.
That's right. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked. All right? Because it said upon them, read verse 5 again in Isaiah 34 and 5.
This is Isaiah 34 and verse 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment.
Now read Proverbs 3 and 33 again.
This is Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 33. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked.
That's right. He says, even the curse of my people. All right? So the 2/3 are cursed too, man. And they're the wicked, man. All right? So they're going to get a piece of these missiles too. All right? Sideways. So go ahead. Is that it on that scripture?
Yeah, that's it.
So you got a precept?
I got the number of those missiles right here in Revelation. This is Revelation 9 and 16. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000.
That's right, because the horseman is representation of power. So go ahead.
And I heard the number of them, And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire and of, if I'm saying this right,
Go ahead.
Jensen, what's this word?
Yeah, I think it's Jensen.
Jensen, Khan, and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and
That's
out,
right. Oh, go ahead.
Khan, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone, and it's perfectly describing those missiles, you know, or what it looks like, the fire coming out the tail, you know, the brimstone, the smoke, you know. It said breastplates. That's the middle part of it. The metal part is describing the missiles.
That's
you
right.
know.
Come.
Then
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
oh, come. Then verse 18. By this, three was the third part of man killed by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issue out of their mouths. You know, and that's the destruction at the end of the day. Those missiles, along with the chariots, the whirlwinds, things of that nature.
Yeah, Joel 2:2 real quick.
This
Because
is
it's
Joel.
coming back what he just read.
This is Joel chapter 2 and verse 2. The day of darkness and of gloominess. Matter of fact,
Starting.
yeah, we start at the top. This is Joel chapter 2 and verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is not at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness.
Those scrolls. So go ahead.
As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong there have not been. A great people and a strong there have not been ever like. Neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations.
Go ahead.
A fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burning. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them.
So go ahead.
The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses and horsemen, so shall they run.
The missiles.
Yep.
All right, so go ahead.
Verse 5, like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devours the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array.
Which was described in Revelation, the 9th chapter, so go ahead.
Before their face the people shall be much pain, all faces shall gather blackness.
Go ahead.
They shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his way, and they shall not break their ranks.
That's right. Keep and then finish off in verse 8.
Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk.
They ain't gonna be bumping into each other.
Right.
They're gonna be.
Yeah, like y'all brother said, ain't gonna be exploding, and hit one another, and all that other stuff.
Perfect harmony. So go ahead.
Yeah. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded.
That's right. You know, you got a precept.
I had that 2nd Ezra 16.
Yeah, we can close it out on 2nd Ezra 16. Just read. Just we're just gonna read that through and let it speak.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16. It says, "Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia! Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria! Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack, and hair bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is set upon you, and who may turn it back?"
Think about. I can't really, because we ain't never really got into this position, but you see it on like TV. Someone got a gun pointed to their head. You know what I'm saying? They know they're about to die. How they feeling?
Yeah.
The Lord is telling them how to feel.
Yeah.
Bewail your children. Put your sackcloth on. I'm about to bust your ass, man. You're gonna die.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead.
Verse 4, it says, a fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent upon you, and what is he that may drive them away?
Mm-hmm.
May any man drive away a hungry lion, Salaki, in the wood? Or may anyone quench the fire and stubble when it have begun to burn?
Look at the fires in California. Go ahead.
Right. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer.
What's up? So go ahead.
The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away?
That's right. And part of the plagues is what? The missiles coming for your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know?
Verse 9, a fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it?
Mm-hmm.
He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear?
Mm-hmm.
He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder as his persist
At his presence.
presence. The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof, the sea ariseth, and with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled.
This is a precept to Revelation in the 6th chapter. So go ahead.
And the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrow that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world.
That's right. You can stop right there. You know? That's right. Read verse 14.
Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth.
There you go. You know? That's another clear indication in verse 14. The plagues are sent and shall not return upon the earth. I mean, and not return again until they come upon the earth. Meaning they got shot up in the air, and then they're going to come back down to earth when they return. And they're on to their destination.
Hit their target,
when they hit their target. You know, 2nd Ezra 16 and 1 through 14 is self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Okay? Through the precepts that we got out of here, understanding that these things are talking about the missiles, man.
Right.
And the missiles are coming for your ass. It's coming for America, first and foremost. You know, you Donald Trump lovers, you know, you white supremacists, all y'all niggas. You Black Lives Matter niggas too. The missiles are coming for you, you know. And if you're an elect that's caught up in any of those, man, get out of it. The name of the Lord is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. Pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. The scriptures say in Acts, I think 2 and 22, somewhere around there, that anyone who calls on that name shall be saved. Okay? And the ones who are going to be calling on that name is the elect 144. And that's who's going to get delivered. All right? And delivered from the archers, from the noise of these these missiles and the destruction that comes after it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all had any closing remarks?
Yeah, I just want to add to your point. You know, the scriptures also tell you that the name of the Lord is a strong tower.
That's right.
All right. So that tower is going to be that protection or that covering. So it's very important that you call upon the name of the Lord, like the brother went to, the Lord and his son. Okay, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai being the Son. Not, hey, don't call Jesus Christ, man.
Jesus got a missile for you. Yeah. I bet one of the missiles got Jesus on it too.
Written all over.
Jesus, yeah. That's why, if I can just bring this out right quick.
Go ahead.
This is why it says this. Sirach, Ecclesiastes 2 and 6, believe in him, and he will help thee, order thy way aright, and trust in him. That goes out to the hopeful elect, man. You know, believe in him, trust in him, and he shall help you. You know, hey, hopefully we're that number, man. Keep calling on him and get saved. You know,
that's right. So with that, we want to give all glory, honor, and praises to
Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakadash.
A double honor to the apostles and elders who rule well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. That's what we do it for. All right. Until next time, and Lord willing, y'all were edified. We want say shalom.
Shalom.